an intelligent animal traps 5 friends in a cabin in the woods and hunts them one by one. The film opens with 2 couples being chased by an unknown entity in the middle of some woods. One of the girls falls down and gets pulled away by the entity. By the time the other 3 friends show up, the entity has already attacked and devoured the girl's lower torso. Her husband tries to run to save her, but the other couple pulls him back in his vulnerable time. The scenes are then shifted to a group of friends, making their way to the same woods for a weekend's vacation. The group consists of Alyssa, who is helping her stepbrother, Jeff, navigate his way, while Alyssa's boyfriend, Matt, and her friends, Sean and Mandy, are sitting zoned out. As they make their way to the woods, they are stopped by a board sign. This makes everyone walk the rest of the way. Alyssa helps Matt tie his backpack while telling him that her family used to come to the woods every year, but the family grew busy and stopped coming by. Jeff shows up and starts to fill Matt's bag with some more supplies. He then hides the car keys in the opening of the gas tank and leads the way. On their way, they click a few pictures on Sean's phone. Jeff claims that he wants to show around a cave opening that is a little far up. Sean finds a pepper spray in his bag and starts making fun of Jeff for bringing it along. Jeff reminds him that the deforestation has displaced a lot of animals out of their habitat, so if they're approached by any wild animal, this spray will definitely help scare them away. At one point, Alyssa grows concerned and asks everyone to make their way back since it's about to get dark. Jeff does a sidebar with her and reminds her that they've been here before with their father multiple times and at much darker hours, so their safety is assured. A few moments later, she picks up an argument with Jeff again and demands they return before it gets dark, but Jeff isn't willing to head back. The others sit down and watch the siblings fight from a distance. Matt singles out to pee, where he discovers a marine bag. He hears an animal growl, so he immediately takes the bag and runs back to the group. Soon, the night falls, and Jeff agrees to head back. On their way back, Mandy goes near some knocked-down trees and discovers obliterated human organs. She screams loud enough for everyone to gather around her. Everyone starts panicking. Simultaneously, they hear the loud growls of an animal. When they move forward towards the peaks, they catch a glimpse of the animal for the first time. Jeff tries to scare the thing away using a stick picked from the ground, but only ends up getting the hideous-looking thing on their tails. They make a run for their lives when the animal chases them. They stop at a point where they spot a cabin. Jeff orders the boys to take the girls to that cabin while he distracts the animal. The moment he looks back, he is attacked by the vicious beast and is obliterated to death. Screaming and crying, everyone makes it to the cabin, but all the entrances are blocked by wooden barricades. While the animal comes for their lives, they bang on the door loud enough for the people inside to hear it and open a small barricade for them. The animal gets to Mandy, but the woman named Vicky lights up flare and throws it at the animal, making it run away. After saving Mandy, they watch the animal walk around the cabin to look for weaker spots to break into. Now, the girls ask Vicky about her story, to which she reveals that her friend group lost track of their car and was stuck in the woods, where they were chased down by the animal and herded into this cabin. Sean shows up and reveals that before Mandy's phone battery went dead, he called 911, who will trace their call to the nearest cellular tower and come for help. He also contacted Alyssa's parents, who will contact their friends in the area and have them sent to the woods for help. That's when the third member, Douglas, speaks from the second story, saying they shouldn't hope for help because it isn't coming. Vicky's husband, Carl, shows up and asks the friends to help find and fix the weak spots. He also shows them the cellar door that they've sealed because the animal somehow has access to it. Now everyone gets to work and starts breaking down some furniture to turn it into barricades. Alyssa tries going upstairs, but Douglas blocks the staircase, claiming he has it all covered. Alyssa then makes her way to the kitchen, where Matt follows her. She tries to tell Matt that the animal purposefully herded them in the cabin so it could hunt them down, but Matt tells her not to pressurize herself and lose her mind over figuring out the reasons. Simultaneously, the animal attacks the window near which they are standing. Carl shows up and saves them by setting up a new door in front of the broken spot. The animal walks around and starts looking for weak spots. Everyone gathers near the fireplace to observe its next move. The animal starts climbing up. They hear window glass breaking upstairs, so the men go upstairs. Douglas comes down to look out for the girls. They enter a room where they spot the animal. It sees them and opens an attack. They immediately come out and shut the door. The girls immediately run upstairs to help the boys. They try to move the heavy dresser towards the door. Matt helps them too. Sean runs down to get the pepper spray. The animal scratches Carl's forearm, but Sean shows up and uses the pepper spray to scare the thing away. Douglas also shows up and helps seal the door with the dresser. They gather around the fireplace once again, where Douglas believes they should get on the road, where they will be easily traced by the 911. Carl disagrees with him, but Matt volunteers to make the run and get back help. Alyssa takes him to the kitchen to try to stop him, but he confesses his love for Alyssa and vows to get her out of here regardless of the risks he's willing to take. Carl also joins in and vouches to become the distraction for the animal since he's encountered it before. Matt introduces everyone to comms in order to stay in contact. Now, Carl goes out with Flair. As he stands in the woods, Sean goes out on the front porch and uses binoculars to keep a lookout for Carl. Soon, he sees a movement in the bushes near Carl, so he updates the news to Carl. Carl gives Matt the call to make his move. When Matt runs away, Sean stops seeing the animal near Carl. Suddenly, everyone hears Matt's screams on the comms and becomes hopeless of his return. Groaning, he warns everyone of the animal. Carl and Sean run towards the door, but Douglas doesn't let them in and pushes Vicky away for trying to open the door. Alyssa quietly calls the boys towards the kitchen door and lets them in. Carl goes inside and gives Douglas a knockout punch for what he's done. When he regains consciousness, he finds himself tied up to the staircase. Alone in the kitchen, Alyssa is approached by Mandy. Alyssa tells her that she's enraged and doesn't want to run away without avenging Matt and Jeff. Mandy hugs her and tells her she's in on whatever Alyssa plans on because she is pregnant with Jeff's baby. When the two approach Sean, he is freaked out. He confesses that he doesn't want to die with deep secrets, so he reveals that he loved Jeff and that his affection wasn't one-sided. This enrages Mandy, and she cusses at him. Simultaneously, their comm starts ringing. When Carl attends, he hears Matt's groans. They start hearing the other comms ringing from the cellar, so they decide to go down and help Matt. Douglas keeps trying to tell them it's a trap, but Carl ignores him. Sean also feels fatigued and refuses to join the others. Carl asks Vicky to close the door when they go inside. Vicky cries and tries to come with him, but he keeps her outside. Downstairs, they find Matt in a vulnerable condition, along with the animal waiting for them. Carl attacks the animal and tells the girls to take him back upstairs. The girls succeed in taking Matt upstairs, but Carl becomes the victim. Matt tries to signal the girls that there are two animals of the same kind, but Douglas distracts them and tries to convince them to use Matt as bait to get out of the cabin. Disgusted by his idea, Alyssa suggests they use kerosene, which she saw in the cellar, to burn the cabin down after trapping the animal inside. Douglas pretends to agree and has Sean untie him. The minute he's free, he bashes Matt's head with a piece of furniture and drags him towards the door. Karma gets to him when the animal breaks in from a weak spot and shreds Douglas to pieces. Everyone else quietly moves away. Alyssa goes down in the cellar and grabs kerosene cans. Everyone hides in the cellar. When the animal comes into the kitchen, Alyssa lights up a flare and sets the animal on fire using kerosene. The others try to make their way out of the cellar. Vicky looks at Carl's obliterated body and goes into shock. Mandy tells her to get up and run away with her, but the animal gets to Sean by that time. When Mandy forcefully takes Vicky out, Vicky gets pulled in by the animal. Mandy makes a run for her life and catches up with Alyssa. The two run towards their car, but Mandy falls down. Alyssa gets attacked by the animal. Mandy runs away in horror. She ends up throwing away her bloodied shirt in another direction and covering herself in mud to mislead the animal. She finally makes it to the car, but the animal breaks the windows and attacks her. She gets out of the other door and runs in circles around the car. She gets back in the driving seat and runs the car over the animal, completely crushing it. The film ends with Mandy escaping with endless trauma and the second animal mourning his buddy, who's crushed and dead. The movie ends here. I hope you liked the story recap. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Thank you for being a part of Black's Movie Recaps. If these tales of mystery and intrigue sent shivers down your spine, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Black's Movie Recap for more bone-chilling narratives. Stay tuned, and until next time, stay captivated.